Abuja, I'm Uyi Agmofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. The Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU has declared a 2-week warning strike across all public universities in Nigeria. The announcement was made by the national president of the union, Professor Chris Piwuna, at a press briefing in Abuja. The latest standoff between the university lecturers and the federal government comes despite ongoing negotiations aimed at averting another round of industrial action in the nation's tertiary institutions. President Bola Tinubu will today depart Abuja for Rome to participate in the Akaba Process Heads of State and Government meeting focusing on the worsening security situation in West Africa. According to presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the president will hold bilateral talks with world leaders to strengthen regional cooperation against terrorism and cross-border threats. The meeting, co-chaired by Jordan and Italy, will also address online radicalization and maritime insecurity, bringing together African leaders, military chiefs, and international partners. In the meantime, the presidency says President Bola Tinubu's recent pardon of 175 convicts was guided by principles of mercy, justice, and humanitarian consideration. Presidential advisor Bayo Onanuga said the decision followed recommendations by the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, chaired by Justice Minister Lateef Fagbemi. Those pardoned include inmates who showed remorse, acquired vocational skills, or served lengthy sentences, among them former lawmaker Farouk Lawan, and 2 inmates granted full pardon. As the world celebrates the International Day of the Girl Child, attention once again turns to the progress and persistent challenges facing girls in Nigeria, from education and empowerment to confidence and societal expectations. Global Television's Priscilla Obasi reports on how mothers, mentors, and communities can help raise a new generation of confident and capable girls.
Across the world, the International Day of the Girl Child highlights the rights, dreams, and potential of girls, calling for greater investment in their education and empowerment. In Nigeria, where millions of girls still face cultural and economic barriers, the conversation continues around what more can be done. When asked how mothers can raise confident daughters in today's society, one respondent said mothers must lead by example, showing confidence, strength, and independence that their daughters can emulate.
In building confidence in your children, in your daughters to be precise, I think the first thing I'll advise every mother is to include God in your children. Then secondly, as a parent, I advise that you be confident yourself. Work on your level of confidence. These children are watching you. And the next thing is that be your daughter's fan. Be your girl child's fan.
Another respondent spoke on how far Nigeria has come in empowering girls through education, acknowledging the visible progress, but warning that rural areas are still left behind.
Honestly, I think we've come a long way in empowering the girl child through education in Nigeria, but we still have more distance to go. Today, more girls are in school than ever before. We see young women studying engineering, law, medicine, even leading in businesses and technology. That's a big step forward compared to many years ago when girls' education wasn't seen as a priority.
But the truth is, not every girl that has gotten same opportunity. Now, in some rural areas, issues like poverty, let's say, even early marriage and cultural beliefs still make it hard for girls to stay in school.
Reflecting on how society views the girl child, some say stereotypes still hold the girl child back, often making them feel that they must prove their worth twice as hard.
One thing I think is still a bias when it comes to the girl child in Nigeria about their potential is that there's this stereotype when you see a woman in a high position or when you see women in some certain sectors, people go, oh, it's because she's a woman. Oh, a woman is like, they are shocked that a woman can actually do this. But that shouldn't be so. A person should be judged based on their potential and not based on their gender.
As Nigeria continues to push for gender equality, experts say it begins with raising confident daughters through education, equal opportunity, and a society that believes in their potential. Priscilla Obasi, Global Television News.
Indeed, the girl child should be celebrated and supported every other day. Thank you so very much, Priscilla Obasi. Trees and flowers do more than add beauty to our surroundings. They also sustain life. From purifying the air we breathe to improving our mental health, these gifts of nature play a vital role in keeping our planet and people healthy. Sadia Yakubu tells us more.
Trees and flowers remain some of the most essential elements of life on Earth. Beyond their natural beauty, they clean the air, provide shade, reduce heat, and serve as sources of food and medicine for humans and animals alike.
It helps to reduce the microclimate of the place, the environment, so that it can be conducive for human habitations, because due to the harsh weather we have here in Nigeria, so we all need to plant trees around our house to make the microclimate of that environment to be habitable.
Experts say trees and flowers also help combat climate change, prevent soil erosion, protect water sources, and provide shelter for birds and other wildlife, all of which contribute to a balanced ecosystem.
Basically, not just for shades, it's a symbiotic thing. We need the trees, and the trees need us.
Beyond their environmental benefits, trees and flowers also heal the mind. Studies shows that spending time around greenery can ease stress, anxiety, and depression, helping people live healthier and happier lives.
Each of those plants, they help when it comes to like during wind. They protect us, and then their helps also.
The green spaces around us are far more than decoration. They are life-sustaining treasures that deserve our care and protection. Let's plant more trees and flowers for our planet, our health, our future. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television.
Away from Sadia's reports now, let's go to Nigeria's southeast, where Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says his administration is building a new generation of digitally skilled youths to drive innovation and economic growth. The government stated this at the graduation of 10,000 trainees from Skill Up Imo Cohort 3, a flagship empowerment program equipping young people with practical digital tools for self-reliance and global competitiveness. Our correspondent Marachi Ibe has details.
It was a colorful and inspiring ceremony at the Emmanuel Iwanyam International Convention Center, Owerri, as 10,000 young Imo indigenes complete intensive digital training under the Skill Up Imo Cohort 3 initiative. Powered by the Ministry of Digital Economy and E-Government, the program provides hands-on training in web development, digital marketing, coding, content creation, and data analysis, empowering youths with 21st century skills. Governor Hope Uzodinma said the initiative is part of his shared prosperity agenda designed to transform Imo into a knowledge-driven economy anchored on innovation and technology.
I would therefore urge you to use what you have learned, not only to create works for yourselves, but to become creators of work for other people.
The Minister of Education, represented by Dr. Mrs. Olodi, commended the state government for taking practical steps to complement federal government's efforts in digital learning and urged other states to adopt the Imo.
The Federal Ministry of Education under his leadership remains fully committed to supporting every state in driving the skills revolution.
Commissioner for Digital Economy and E-Government, Dr. Chimezi Amadi, said the program is preparing Imo youths to compete favorably in the global digital marketplace.
With this cohort 3, 10,000 more Imo youths are graduating, bringing total to an astonishing 50,000 trained digital citizens young people empowered.
Partners from US MAC, one of the global collaborators, applauded the Imo State government for sustaining investment in youth development and pledged continuous support and partnership.
To empower youth, to give them the skills to be able to create the future for their country. Don't let us down.
For many beneficiaries, the Skill Up Imo initiative is more than just training. It's a life-changing opportunity to earn, innovate, and contribute to a smarter Imo.
The laptop is going to help me a lot in my activities, daily activities. It's going to help us in particular to empower others who have not acquired the skill.
With 10,000 graduates now equipped with digital tools and global exposure, the Skill Up Imo program continues to strengthen the state's position as a rising digital hub in Nigeria. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcasts of News Cycle. When the rest of the broadcast returns, Cameroon holds presidential election as incumbent President Biya seeks 8th term in office. We'll tell you about that story and much more behind this short break. Please do stay with us. Well, thank you so very much for staying with us. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Mofwebe. The second part of this broadcast now returns with business. Nigeria's oil output has dropped to 1.39 million barrels per day in September, down from 1.43 million recorded in August. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission blamed the decline on industrial action by oil workers' unions and scheduled maintenance at two major facilities. It also noted that the production level represents 93% of Nigeria's OPEC quota, though peak output during the month reached 1.81 million barrels per day. The high cost of grocery in Nigerian markets as against the sharp decrease of farm produce has remained a source of concern to farmers and dealers of farm produce. In this special report, Global Television's Benue correspondent Felicity Inderi examines the solution.
The removal of petroleum subsidy at the inception of the present administration came with a hike in the prices of goods and services, including farm produce across the country, affecting the cost of living, with households struggling to survive.
Like in December, we bought soya beans at the rate of 1,700 to 1,800 per kilo. Now, a kilo of Benue seed is 1,000 naira.
In Makurdi, the Benue state capital, traders lament that the sharp decline in farm produce price has affected their daily earnings, as they share with Global Television News the experience of coping with the current economic hardship.
Our market is not steady. Like this bag now, last year is higher than this year. There are some bags where we buy high last year, they take on than this year. The thieves cannot balance one, say that this thing price will be continue to stay steady. No price will not stay steady.
They sell this akpu here at a very cheap rate. As the children don't resume school now, I go to buy the school bag, I no fit buy am because the price is too big.
Some vendors also expressed concern that the proposed fossil fuel tax under the new tax law projected to raise petrol prices about 45 naira per litre beginning January 2026 could further deepen the economic hardship faced by ordinary Nigerians and the final nail to the coffin.
This is the old woman carrying swan being like 2 mudu. If I go engine now, they will grant like 500 naira. If I come to say my money is not back, the fuel is too much. Just even to go to Guruku, I'm trekking.
Now we be 3,000 like this. Before I go finish, I go carry 3 bags inside. As I they carry, so now the capital they go.
Traders are urging the government to intervene and stabilize the market to reduce the hardship faced by citizens, hoping that prompt action will restore price balance and make goods more affordable nationwide. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere reporting for Global Television News.
Felicity Nderidia with Market Survey first. Tricycle is one of the fastest and easiest means of transportation in Kano, known to be operated only by men riders. However, the narrative is changing as women are gradually taking over tricycle operations, carrying only female and children passengers. In this special report, Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrain visited Matizala Entrepreneurs, where women are trained on how to ride tricycle for self-reliance.
For almost 6 months, Amina Hassan has been coming to this station where she was trained to become a tricycle rider. Amina now owns a tricycle and she rides through the busiest streets of Kano to earn a living. With 4 children and other dependents, Amina says she can now conveniently take care of her family even though she rides on hire purchase.
The impact of witnessed economic change when I started riding the tricycle, because I've gained more extra income, which I use it to take care of my family, my children's need, my mother and other relatives.
In Kano, culture and tradition plays an important role, especially among women. Hajia Hawa'u Ahmad is responsible for bringing together these women to become self-reliant through riding tricycle.
Women are left behind in the sector of transportation. Virtually in Kano, not only in Kano, in northern states, women doesn't participate with this kind of business. So I see no reason why we should not be involved in this kind of businesses. So I decided to call upon women to come out. Those that are interested in riding, they should come so that we will make access to them to acquire their keke napep for them to do as a business.
She says there are currently 100 women who are riding through the streets of Kano, effectively making life easier for them.
I was even thinking over, can these women really make it? Can they be able to do with the all passengers? You know, Kano is a busy state, but to God being him the glory, these women are really making it. But we have undergone so many training for them to get rid of everything that they will encounter.
Although lots of women have now become riders of tricycle, but the inability of government to intervene is threatening the effectiveness of these women to pursue their dreams to the logical conclusions. From Kano, Idris Jibrain, Global Television News.
That here you say what a man can do. Thank you so very much, Idris Jibrain. Let's turn to the foreign scene now. Cameroonians have headed to the polls as 92-year-old President Paul Biya seeks an 8th term, extending over 4 decades in power. Biya faces 11 opponents, including former Minister Issa Chiroma Bakary, whose campaign has drawn youthful crowds in contrast to Biya's muted presence. Mukhtar Kassim has details.
Polls opened early Sunday across Cameroon, with long queues forming in major cities and quiet polling units in conflict-hit English-speaking regions. Paul Biya, who is president and has been in power since 1982, faces 11 challenges, among them 79-year-old Issa Chiroma Bakary, whose campaign has drawn unexpected enthusiasm, especially among young voters calling for change. Now, despite high employment and poverty affecting millions, many remain cautious about confronting the deeply entrenched system. Observers say the campaign has been livelier than usual, with some hinting at the possibility of surprises. Still, opposition voices argue that years of state dominance make any real upset unlikely. Now, as ballots are cast and counted, Cameroonians wait to see if this election signals continuity or the faint stirring of change. The Constitutional Council will announce the result by October 26. Mukhtar Kassim, reporting for Global Television News.
Appreciate your reporting, Mukhtar. In Madagascar's capital, Antananarivo, soldiers have joined thousands of protesters in one of the largest anti-government demonstrations the country has seen in years. The youth-led movement, fueled by anger over power and water shortages, entered its 3rd week with calls growing for President Andry Rajoelina to step down. Again, Mukhtar Qasim brings us more.
As police fired tear gas and stun grenades to disperse crowd, troops from the CAPSAT military unit rolled out into the city, greeted by cheers and chants from demonstrators waving the Madagascar flags. Their arrival marked a turning point, a rare moment where soldiers openly sided with civilians, urging fellow security forces to refuse orders to shoot. Local reporters say 2 people were killed and more than 2 dozens injured after gunfire broke out during the march to the Place de 13 May. The military's move has rattled the government, with the Prime Minister calling for unity and dialogue, warning that Madagascar cannot survive another national crisis. Now, as night fell over Antananarivo, gunfire still echoed through the streets, even as protesters sang and waved flags in defiance. The Gen Z movement insists it seeks democracy, not a coup, but with soldiers now joining the rallies, Madagascar's standoff has entered uncertain and dangerous territory. Mukhtar Qasim, reporting for Global Television News.
Evidently, these are trying times for Madagascar. Let's go find some consolation from the world of sports now. Team Nigeria has made a strong start at the 2025 World Powerlifting Championships in Cairo, with Esther Orongo winning silver and Rukayat Ajiboye taking bronze in the 50 kg category. Sports Commission Chief Bukola Olakbade praised the athletes for their resilience and patriotism, saying their achievements inspire national pride. The tournament, running till October 18, marks the first time the global event is hosted on African soil. The Super Eagles have safely arrived in Uyo after their aircraft developed a cracked windscreen mid-air, forcing an emergency landing in Angola. The team was returning from South Africa after a 2-1 win over Lesotho when the incident occurred, delaying their trip by several hours. They are now set to face Benin Republic in a crucial World Cup qualifier on Tuesday, needing victory to secure a ticket to the 2026 World Cup. And as your news cycle, a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG, as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyag Mofwegmi, thanking you for watching and promising to see you again at 8 p.m. West Africa time on News Prime.